Hi Aries, I hope you're all doing well. Before we get into it, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. I'm seeing something immediately about a close interpersonal relationship that you have and something that you're trying to prioritize. This can be people that you're close with in general. There may be a particular relationship that's standing out to you that you're trying to figure out. Maybe even how to prioritize a relationship, actually. Because I'm seeing this be related to the Two of Cups. So this would be somebody that you're close with, somebody that you're getting close with. Let's see. We're starting off with the Five of Swords, but I want to get some more context before we hop into it, because this may be you, it could be somebody around you. I'm seeing on one hand that you have something that represents a sense of security to you, and there's definitely a sense of feeling protective over this with the Five of Swords. This can be something that you even don't want to be like affected by other things or other people. For some of you, this can even come from a place of like you care for something and you don't want to lose it. But it looks like you providing yourself with a sense of like security or even reassurance is going to help you even break down a wall that you have, because this can be some sort of barrier, like even an attitude or a mindset that you have. It's like something that's very precious to you, and so you don't want to lose this thing, but the way that you're approaching it may be something where there's like some sort of barricade even. But yeah, this would come from a place of like not wanting to lose something, but there could be a sense of rigidity mentally in relation to this, where it's like you have something that you care. I'm even hearing the word beloved, which is interesting. I feel like that's kind of an old-timey word, but yeah, you have something that like means a lot to you, and there's a sense of like not wanting to lose this thing. But let's get further, because I want to see more about why the Five of Swords is coming out. This may be about incorporating something new or taking a chance. Incorporating something new into your life or taking a chance. There's a sense of like needing to have faith here, because you may have like a rigid mindset when it comes to something that you have. But this can also be someone outside of you, so we're gonna find out. Okay. I'm seeing this be your energy. Whatever this new thing is that you are going in the direction of, I'm seeing you kind of be in charge of steering this. I'm also getting this notion of like not wanting something to be taken away from you. Let's see what this is. Yeah, like if there wasn't a sign before that this was you, it's definitely you, because I'm looking at the Emperor popping out. This represents Aries energy. I'm seeing a transition from the King of Wands into the Emperor for you. This feels like a surprising moment about maybe how much power and control that you have. Whereas before, you could have been approaching something from a space of like not wanting to lose it and being kind of closed off, and now I'm seeing you kind of recognize your own strength and power within a situation. Like there's a more strategic energy, but I'm seeing it be brighter, because before it could have been like feeling so defensive that you needed to jump on the offensive line before, and now there's a sense of ease that I'm seeing, like something maybe even that you had been struggling with mentally now becomes less of a burden to you. And it seems like just because of maybe an experience you're having and like how that's even shifting your frame of mind. I'm also seeing something unexpectedly happen. It's like whatever new beginning this is, to have Mars and Uranus together, this is a very unpredictable, unstable type of energy. But something like beautiful or glorious comes from this. And it could have also happened unexpectedly, and maybe before you didn't feel so prepared to handle something like this. Maybe even the intensity of a situation, and now I'm seeing you very well suited for something, whereas before maybe you didn't have like the confidence or the coping strategies that you needed, or there was something that needed to be worked out within like your relationship with yourself, which is then going to like follow and lead into a relationship that you possibly have with someone outside of you. Because before, you may not have wanted to give up control, and that could have manifested in many different ways. More from a place of like suspicion, or again, feeling like you needed to protect yourself. So you could have been closed off to an experience before that now you're open to. Whatever this thing is that you're starting, whether this be a new project, a new relationship, something that you feel passionately about, I'm seeing you be successful with this, with exploring it. And it seems because like mentally you are in a different place, that now there's a sense of being like, before, if this thing came through because it was new or unknown, you could have been like standoffish towards this because you didn't want it to interfere with your sense of stability. But I'm seeing you be much more grounded, much more secure than you had been before. And I'm seeing that like that self-image is actually what helps you grow accustomed to even the changes that are happening simultaneously, is what I'm hearing. So very much like an adaptable sort of energy here. I'm seeing very strong Mars placement for you, Aries. So something comes about, and rather than being, not that you can't be intimidated, but rather than being intimidated by something and like backing off or feeling like you need to protect yourself and like defend your territory or whatever, this is something that comes about and you're like, oh, I'm open to this new experience. This is something that I'm taking a chance with. I feel hopeful about this new thing that you're starting. But yeah, I'm seeing it be something that wasn't planned. It happened spontaneously. For some of you, this is even a career direction I'm getting. It looks very creative. I'm seeing a lot more balance when it comes to your communication, so you may be open to communicating differently than you had been before. It's like maybe you even feel like you know how to do something now that you may not have felt like you had the skills to do before, or maybe lack the confidence that you had those skills. I definitely am getting a vibe of before, if like you hadn't been in complete control of something, you may have written it off completely, but now because there's more of a sense of balance, even within things related to partnerships, I'm seeing there be more stability. There's more of an understanding of like your own personal energy and also how to communicate how to advocate for yourself, how to call things out when you need to, how to say what you need to in general, regardless of what it is. There's like more of a confidence here, even with like how you're holding your own energy and how you visualize that. More of a sense of security. This looks like some sort of development that has changed within your energetic field is what I'm hearing. And I'm seeing that the more you use your throat chakra, like the more you communicate and don't hold yourself back from saying the things that you need to say, and also sometimes not saying things that don't need to be said. Because of this very conscious, deliberate energy, I'm seeing it helps you with something that comes about somewhat surprisingly. So yeah, it looks like there's something unexpected happening for you. But I'm getting like you even trust yourself more. At first, this kind of could have thrown you for a loop. Because I'm seeing even some resistance. It's like something was unfolding and you may have been like, I'm actually getting in, what cartoon is this? Essentially, I'm seeing the image of like something that's destined to kind of like fall apart or go in a specific direction, and I'm seeing you like in the past may have been trying to like put this thing together so it doesn't fall apart, but it's like melting in your hands and you can't really help it from happening. It's like before there could have been a lot of resistance, and now I'm seeing there be a transition where you're like, you know what, it's a new day, it's a new dawn, like this is what's changing, and I'm going to adapt to this situation, and I'm going to try something new. So there's like, instead of being closed off, which in the beginning I'm seeing you could have been very closed off to an experience, now because you trust yourself and you have the self-confidence that may have been lacking before, there's something that you're now like, this is kind of ambiguous and I'm also open to it. So I'm seeing like much more adaptability here, whereas you had been more rigid before. I'm seeing this all be like a switch of perspective, even like something that needed to be worked out. Because it, like, in the beginning, it was definitely coming from a space of self-preservation. And now I'm seeing you even look at something and be like, it's not so scary, or I don't really feel the need to protect myself here. Like, the throat chakra is cleared is what I'm hearing. So there's something where you feel like you can communicate and express yourself in the way that you want to, and that allows you to feel more comfortable with something. Experiencing something is what I'm hearing. Yeah, whatever internal conflict this was, I'm seeing it come to an end now. I'm seeing something big change. You could have even been holding yourself back from saying certain things that you wanted to say, and now I'm seeing you get over that. It's like maybe before you had been second-guessing yourself or holding yourself back or resistant. It's like maybe you felt conflicted about certain things that you wanted to communicate, and now there's a sense of being like, you know what, I trust myself, I trust my words, and I trust myself to communicate what I need to, and I'm seeing this really change up a situation for you. Even when it comes to expressing needs, what you're comfortable with, expectations, standards, values, all of that. So yeah, I'm seeing, like, because of this transition, I'm seeing for sure something has changed now with how you're approaching a situation. This can also be a development too with working with more closed off or difficult energies. Like, you could have had some sort of mirroring effect with like someone or maybe multiple people. For some of you, this can even be like clients or just like people on the regular that you're communicating with, and it's like when you saw people be defensive, maybe that was something that kicked up like your defenses as well. But now there's a sense of understanding how to adapt to situations and being confident in the way that you do that because of the security that you're feeling. Because whatever this thing that's like, I'm seeing something unstoppable that's happening, and before it did seem like you could have been resistant to this. Like, I'm getting that thing again of like some building is kind of crumbling down and you could have been like, nope, I'm just gonna like keep taking those fallen bricks and put it on here, and it's like it kept having that somersault effect is what I'm hearing. And it's like it was slowly disintegrating and you're slowly trying to like build it back up. And now I'm seeing you be like, you know what, if it's gonna fall over, it's gonna fall over, and I'm gonna roll with the punches here. And I'm seeing something really like nice come after it. It's like something is even revealed to you through this experience of something being completely broken down. And like this can be a metaphor even for like a mental space that you had been in before. And it's like the tower is going to be jarring or scary in some sort of way, because it's like, well, what's going to happen if this whole building collapses? And this can even be part of the ego structure is what I'm getting to. And now because there's not the resistance that there had been before, you can see like the beauty and the mystery of something, and the hope and the faith that you can have in even a blank slate for some of you. And it's like your perspective of this adventure and this direction that you're going in, it completely changes, and I'm seeing you change along with it. I'm looking at Aries, Mars, and Libra and Uranus. I'm hearing powerhouse. For some of you, there could be something going on with your senses. Like, I'm getting even a particular sensitivity to certain smells. Maybe you feel more present and that you're picking up on more things. Like maybe seeing things that you hadn't been seeing before, feeling things you hadn't been feeling before. We're starting off in this spread with the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is something internally that's blossoming when it comes to your senses. So this can be feeling more sensitive in general, feeling more aware. It can be budding feelings that you have, budding in intuitive nudges that you're getting. It feels like even a directional pull when it comes to what's resonating with you and what's not resonating with you. And feeling like you're in the place to be able to communicate that as well. And it looks too like, because you are so in alignment with your intuition right now, it has led you to a new chapter, a new beginning. I'm seeing something very, very exciting, very happy, very inspiring. This can be something where you're using your creativity. It can be talking about your relationship with another person. Let's see what else. Maybe you even feel like something intuitively is intact as you're stepping into this new chapter that maybe didn't feel so natural for you before, or maybe you didn't know how to use it as well as you do now in relation to like your emotions and what that means and intuitively what you're feeling. I'm almost seeing you even like open up a door and step into a new space, and immediately from there you just take off. This is something that you step into confidently, that moves very quickly. So you could have been feeling even a little bit stagnant before. I'm getting something about a stalemate, and maybe that's how you were feeling before, but I'm seeing something change and something really pick up. And I am seeing you very quickly move away from any territory that had been even adding an element of stress into your life. For some of you, this is work related. There had been something stressing you out with your job. For some of you, you may not have made this move yet, but intuitively you're feeling it's something has timed out and you're ready for a new beginning. And once you make your mind up and actually initiate this, I'm seeing that you will be moving on from something. So for some of you, this can be like job, career. It can be like an activity that you had been participating in. a place that you had been frequenting, company that you had been keeping. It can be so many different things. It doesn't look like the decision was made yet, but it looks like you're getting intuitive nudges about this. This may be something that, if you make this choice, some people may question you a bit, and you could also feel that too. It's like maybe you'd feel like you had to defend a choice that you're making or a decision that you're making, and that could also cause some sort of like worry or resistance for you. I'm getting something about like maybe people want you to explain yourself in relation to a decision that you want to make, and you may know that that's something that comes along with something that you want to be pursuing, or a change even that you would be making, because it looks like you getting into something new here. New work setting, new collaborations, can be even new people that you're working with. If there are new people that you're working with, there may also be a decision that needs to be made in relation to like people that you have a history of working with. So there's something about collaborations and a decision that needs to be made. But I'm seeing this both relate to a chapter that you're in right now and also carry into this new chapter for you. Some people you may even want to like transition over into this new chapter. There's something that you're carrying over. I'm seeing it be related to like you in certain working dynamics that you have. You could be dealing with someone with a lot of Pisces, Neptune in their chart. I'm also looking at Aquarius. I'm hearing something about like getting a taste for something that you want to do. This feels like a vision that you have in a direction that you're like, I feel like this was meant for me, or it's something that I'm very, very interested in pursuing now. But you may not know where this is going to take you, because I'm seeing there be a question mark. It's like, I know that I'm going somewhere, but I don't know where exactly that is yet. So it looks like a chance that you're taking because you feel that it's right, even though you may not know where exactly that's going to be leading you. Let's get further on this. It looks like this is something you've put a lot of thought into, and it does feel like some sort of dream that you're pursuing. Intuitively as well, you may feel like you need a break from something. Like, let's just use an example. For some of you, if you're transitioning from one job to another, you could be questioning whether or not you want to take a break before you jump into something else. I'm seeing the decision be related to like your self-care and meeting your needs and what you need, and like taking a break potentially. And intuitively, this would be something that you're being nudged into. I'm seeing it be a moment where you may even have some sort of rest prior to stepping into a new chapter. Because I'm looking at the Four of Swords leading into the Ace of Pentacles. So this is like gathering your strength, reconnecting with yourself, like meditating, whatever it is that you do for your self-care, stuff like that, tending to your needs prior to starting something where you know it's going to take like your full energy. I'm also hearing resources. And I'm seeing this new beginning be related to like you collaborating and working with other people. It looks like a group of people. It doesn't look necessarily one-on-one. It looks like you working with multiple other people. And you may even feel like you need some sort of, okay, so I'm getting this. You may feel like you need some sort of like rest or time to yourself, because you know that you're also going to be like potentially more social, or like something's going to be asked of you when it comes to these collaborations that you're going to be taking part of. or working with these people that you're going to be working with. It looks like a learning experience, because with the Three of Pentacles, it can be like, I'm getting the image of like one of the first tarot decks that I ever had, and it's like there's a teacher in front of the class, and it was like an art class. I believe it was, and the student was like drawing something that needed to be drawn, and the teacher came over and was talking to them about it. So it's like you could be doing something like that in relation to your collaborations, where you're like checking in with somebody or like referencing stuff and like learning how to do something. I'm seeing you even work with a group of people here. And there's a sense of taking a break so you can give it your all in this chapter that you're stepping into. So it's like you want to gather all of your energy up, so when you have this start, you feel like you're fully present and fully ready to get things going, rather than feeling like depleted and knowing that a lot is going to be asked of you. I'm hearing even something about manual labor, because I'm seeing there's a lot of like you going to be interacting with people, different personalities, working things out. But yeah, it's like the sure thing here is that you're going to be interacting with other people, and you know that that is going to take like patience and understanding and listening and acting and adjusting to this new environment for some of you. And you may not necessarily know exactly where this is going to lead you yet. Like, the final destination may be a little bit under wraps for now. You could also be seeing where something takes you to, and you're like, it's about the journey, not necessarily where I end up. One thing that may be more difficult is about tempering impulsivity. I'm seeing this even be something psychologically that you're affected by. Like, for some of you, you may recognize that you need some sort of break, but sometimes you feel restless when you're doing that, because I'm seeing it be like, I know that I need to disconnect, or I know that I need to ground or do this for myself, but part of you that's like maybe impulsive or like wants to interact with people or wants to socialize or wants to have fun or whatever that is, it's like that part of you wants to take action, but another part of you is like, we need to chill out for a little bit. Like, it almost even feels like I'm getting the example of someone like, you need to get a good night's sleep before like the next day, because the next day is going to be like a full schedule of events that you have to do, but that part of you that's like, I want to have fun right now, like doesn't want to go to sleep. But I'm seeing this like be related to something even long term for you. So it's like maybe even finding the balance between like rest and fun, and finding the happy medium there. Because it's something that if it's not tempered, like you may get even exhausted by this. Something about like you wanting to engage actively. But I'm seeing that if this is grounded, if this is tempered, if you transmute this energy, it's going to cultivate a more like peaceful transition and journey for you. And it's going to give you the clarity that you're looking for, especially as you are holding on to your vision, because I'm seeing something become very clear to you about your designated path. I'm seeing like some sort of revelation or illumination that you experience, connected with you and what you want to do and where you want to go and how you're going to get there. I'm also hearing. It seems too like whatever this like fun or spontaneity is that you want to have, it looks like tempering this is going to allow you to experience that later on down the line. I'm seeing something about the timing needing to be right. Interesting. I'm getting a Harry Potter reference. Maybe some of you guys like Harry Potter. For some of you, there's something that you've been reviewing. This can also be intuitively checking in with yourself and asking yourself like when you need to take a break and when you can take action in relation to like your energetic standing. Even it's like, do I have the energy to exert right now, or is this something that I need to step back from? Because for some of you, if this isn't work related, which it can be work related and also related to like your personal life too, for those of you that this is connected with your personal life, there may be somebody new or new people that you're interacting with or working with to some degree, or hanging out with even, and you're figuring out like how to communicate with them, how to, I'm hearing contribute, and you may not know where these like connections or this connection is going to lead. But I'm seeing something where it's like you can kind of guess the direction, but you don't know completely like what's going to happen. And there's something about like not wanting something to move too quickly or become too chaotic or like to act too impulsively, because it may somehow like spoil the balance of what you have going on. Because I'm seeing the Knight of Wands show up, and it's like this is even a subconscious motivation that comes through that you like already recognize as something that you deal with, and it's something that it will need to be like addressed even constantly in order to keep the balance that you're aiming for. And as you learn how to like even work with this aspect of yourself, I'm seeing that it like reveals even like a true direction for you that maybe you wouldn't have seen had you impulsively acted on something. So I'm seeing you like there's an aspect of yourself that if you learn how to work with it properly, and I'm seeing like this is something that you're actively doing, if you learn how to work with it properly, it can benefit you rather than being a detriment that brings chaos into your life because of how like unrestrained, unrestricted, uncontrolled it is. And it helps you feel more grounded and feel more direction, focus oriented. So I'm seeing it again be like it's something that you work into benefiting you or being some sort of strength. Something that also gives you clarity, emotionally speaking. So this can be you or the person that you're dealing with, their chart. I'm looking at Sagittarius, Pisces, Aquarius, Sun. It can be a mix of your two charts. Yeah, I'm seeing, it looks like something emotionally that you're getting involved with. I'm seeing a relationship or a dynamic that you're developing with someone. We're starting off too with in this spread with the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is like having a discussion about, I saw 3311 on the time when I looked up. It's about having a discussion about like where you stand, what your expectations are of yourself, of the other person, how you're willing to show up, how you expect the other person to show up. It can be about equality too, making sure that things are fair, checking and making sure that like you're giving enough and not taking too much, and vice versa, all of that. It's all about balance. And I'm seeing something that you're successfully finding equilibrium within. So whatever this thing is, when it comes to like that sense of balance, whether this be like you within a job setting and feeling like you're being compensated for what you're doing, or you in a relationship setting where you feel like the give and take is balanced in a way that you like, I'm seeing something be successful here that you're doing. So it looks like you're taking all of the proper steps that you need to get this to happen for you. That's what's coming to fruition. Balance, equality, empowerment, feeling like you're spending your time and your energy and your resources wisely. So yeah, maybe this is something that you didn't feel necessarily like you had before, but it could have been because like in the past maybe you made certain snap judgments, but I'm seeing something like you really work to ground some sort of impulse that now brings you a sense of clarity because you're learning how to work with it. This feels too like you recognizing like just how much of an impact like your choices, decisions, behaviors have on the outcome of certain situations. Because before you could have been like, well, I'm just going to do this because it feels good or because I want to, and it's just going to like go however it's going to go. And now like with this specific situation, it seems like you recognize like how much of a magician you are, meaning like you're the manifestor, you're the creator of this situation, and that if you have certain goals, there are certain steps to take to get that desired outcome that you want. A lot of success, Aries. Before, you could have also been caught up in situations, again, whether this be work or dynamics that you've had with people where there was a lack of reciprocity between you and other people, and there was a sense of feeling hurt. I'm also hearing feeling exposed, but in a way where like maybe you felt like your vulnerability, I don't know, something that didn't feel good about that before. Like, you could have been in situations where it's like you came and you showed up and you gave your all, and maybe that wasn't returned, and that could have been something that you felt hurt by. I'm seeing that, like, maybe in the back of your mind you still feel worried about this a bit. Like, kind of even that notion of putting yourself out there or giving something, and in the past having situations where, like, maybe your expectations were not met or things went awry in some way. So I'm seeing something that like still is there a bit energetically. Maybe this was a recent experience that you had. What it looks like though to me also is that you could have experienced something like that, but I'm seeing a notion of somebody like getting back up and dusting themselves off and trying again. So it looks like you're putting yourself back out there in some way. Yeah, I am seeing this be related to relationships, but this can be like romantic relationships, platonic relationships, working relationships. But yeah, all interpersonal stuff. Before too, you could have been like, well, I don't even know what exactly I'm expecting. I don't know what's going to bring me a sense of fulfillment. For some of you too, that lack of direction could have also maybe like not realizing certain expectations that you had or not voicing them. That could have also led you into a space of like maybe getting hurt in a situation. Or like there was some sort of emotional confusion that you experienced with someone that maybe you were building a connection with. Something even related to prioritizing. Okay. This feels like a moment where you're laying it all out there as you connect with another person or other people, like close relationships that you have. So this can be one, it can be multiple. For some of you, I'm definitely seeing like some sort of like romance or chemistry that you have with someone. There's a sense of like laying it all out there as far as like your expectations. I'm hearing also your needs, what you're willing to give, boundaries, things like that. Connecting with like you and somebody that you're getting close with. I'm seeing something that you may not completely know how you feel about a situation yet. Like, there may be so many avenues of where something can go that you're kind of unsure, because I'm seeing the Seven of Cups be in the center of this, and the Seven of Cups can be like, there's so many different options of where this could go or how I could feel that I don't really know yet. So this is a moment where like something can be under development and you still need more information to figure out how you feel. So you haven't like necessarily gotten to a conclusion yet on the emotional front, on the energetic front even. But I'm seeing whatever confusion that is, I'm seeing it come to an end. So something that didn't make sense before, I'm seeing there's a sense of clarity, and I'm also hearing finality. It looks like something that would have been out of alignment. For some of you, this is something that you're still dealing with. You could be... Okay. For a number of you, I'm seeing that there could be somebody that you already talked about what your expectations were and we're trying to get something to work with this person, and I'm seeing somebody that you feel like close with, or you were building some type of bond with them, and something was going on where, like, I'm hearing pressure. You weren't sure how you were feeling about a situation or feeling confused, and it looks like something comes to an end, and it could have been something that you felt impacted by. Like, maybe you felt hurt by a situation or felt like something was going to turn out in a different way than it did. So yeah, it looks like there's some relationship that's coming to an end, or a particular dynamic coming to an end, because this can mean you still have a relationship with someone, but something transitions within the dynamic. So yeah, for some of you, there was something that you were doing with someone before that you're not going to be doing anymore, because it could have like brought about more confusion for you, especially when it comes to your standards. Like, you could have felt like emotionally you were not being met by this person in an equal way, and that's something that you could have definitely felt impacted by. It's like maybe you were showing up and like bearing your soul in some sort of way and you were not seeing that returned. But it looks like something that you are recovering from. I'm not seeing something where there's like some sort of like gaping hole in the heart chakra that needs to be addressed or whatever. It seems like a situation that happened or is happening right now that you're processing through, and you're recognizing that like something was out of alignment, and you're like, you know what, I recognize that like I need to work through this emotionally in order to feel composed and to feel like grounded within this experience that I'm having, and I'm recognizing that I'm not feeling fulfilled in a situation, and I actually need to let this go because it's not truly resonating with me. And in the beginning, you could have thought that this would be something that resonated with you. But as it turns out, I'm seeing like something happen where like something emotionally, it looks very much related to emotions. Something emotionally that you were giving was not returned by someone, or like something was out of balance. Somebody could have also been confused that you were dealing with. Like, you could have had somebody that was kind of I'm hearing keeping you on the other end of the phone. It's like maybe they were kind of stammering with someone. Like, you could have been like, you know what, I feel this way towards you or whatever, and it's like this person was very confused and like bringing about more confusion for you, not telling you how they were feeling. Maybe they didn't even know. And I'm seeing something that you're like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm seeing you just recognize that something is like not what you need it to be, and that's why it's not like you're making this decision in judgment of this person. It's more so like you evaluating something for yourself and being like, this isn't what I want, or this isn't what I need, or it doesn't meet my standards, or like this isn't something that I want to be involved with. It's not resonating with me, or like this person isn't resonating with me, or this dynamic isn't resonating with me. And so I'm seeing that it may be something that was hard to end or hard to let go of, but like immediately after that, I'm seeing it's like something is even revived for you, where you're feeling more grounded. It's like maybe you even feel like your mood stabilizes a bit after this. Interesting. I'm looking at Gemini. Yeah, maybe even you felt like something didn't like, you may not have had the same, something could have been an issue with like beliefs or morals or spirituality or something, even with someone. Like maybe something even about your background or like a philosophy didn't align with this person. I'm seeing too that this situation could have like given you more self-awareness about like where you stood actually, which is interesting too. Like I'm seeing there be definite gain that you went through by having this experience. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to, yeah, I'm getting this notion again, like somebody was very unclear about how they were feeling, and I'm seeing that confusion even like I'm seeing you had been, remember energies can always be reversed, but we're just sticking with one narrative. I'm seeing that like you could have been like very concrete on how you were feeling about something, and this other person may not have been. So that could have like thrown you off a bit, because you could have felt sure about something and this person you were dealing with was not in that place. Like they could be somebody that you don't perceive as being like completely in touch with themselves emotionally, and that was something that ended up like, because of their own personal stuff, it ended up impacting your relationship with this person and like your dynamic. And it was something that doesn't look like a completely, it made for like a confusing or unclear experience that you had with them. Okay, my friends, we are going to leave it here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.